Bueno, bienvenidos de nuevo a este episodio número 1. Yo creo que ya sería oficialmente el episodio número 1. Previo hicimos una pequeña prueba, un test de ciertos temas referentes a quiénes somos, a qué nos dedicamos, a el incentivo de la tecnología, de cómo nos está ayudando en nuestra operación, nuestros sistemas. Y ahorita que lo queremos hacer oficial, queremos empezar con un tema que está altamente muy caliente, que es el tema de las famosas criptomonedas. Tuvimos la oportunidad de probar nuestra primera minería, nuestro primer mining. Es algo que vamos a compartir con ustedes. Vamos también a hablar no solamente de la minería, sino también vamos a hablar de cómo la industria de la minería de las criptomonedas también están cambiando. Es un tema también que está muy chingón, muy cabrón. Desde el famoso Proof of Work, Proof of Stake a Proof of Space. Son tres cosas que la verdad nos llaman mucho la atención en esta industria. Cómo el tema de blockchain también está cambiando mucho esos esquemas muy cabrones. Es algo también fascinante. El tema de trading también es algo muy importante. Entonces, espero que realmente disfruten esta conversación de una gran persona, mi socio de todo el alma, fundador de este espacio de MTCX Media. Y pues comenzamos. Marcus, we like to start with first introducing yourself as the co-founder of MTCX Media. I was telling that we want to go over and have this deep conversation about cryptocurrency. You kind of like are well aware of how this whole trend is changing, the whole utility, I guess you call it money, right?
Yeah.
And we want to go into this great journey about all these changes that are going on, not only on the crypto side, but also on the mining and the industry, the whole proof of work, proof of stake, proof of space,
Yeah.
all these little things. So you want to start?
Well, first, I would like to welcome you to hang out with Diego and myself. Been in the entrepreneurial game for a long time, about 30 years. So I'm an OG in the entrepreneurial space. I love it. I'm an entrepreneur for life. Diego, my partner, my sidekick. I'm Batman. He's Robin.
Batman Robin.
Batman and Robin. And so we like to have you join us in this little conversation of business and bullshit that we're about to drop. And hopefully we drop a few nuggets that you might find useful.
Business of bullshit. I like that.
Business and bullshit.
So should we start with the bullshit or should we start with the business?
Well, depends on how much of this.
Well, cheers
this,
first, you know? So
right.
I guess let's start first with the business side.
Yeah. Been trying this mezcal out, man. And, me coming from the South, it's I'm growing a liking to it. So
The mezcal. Cheers to people in Guadalajara who's watching us in case they're
Guadalajara in the house. So, yeah,
Guadalajara in the house.
Mezcal is
and just by
unique.
just on the record, Guadalajara, it's a technology hub for Mexico.
It has become that.
It's a Silicon Valley.
When I ventured there, my dad and a friend of mine, we didn't know jack shit, didn't know how to cross. We decided on a whim to go to Guadalajara. It was like 15 years ago, and it was a hell of an adventure. So yeah, Guadalajara has changed over the years.
I hope some of the people in Guadalajara are watching this episode. Probably gonna like what we're gonna go over and talk about it.
Shouts out to the G-Force,
Guadalajara. So let's talk about crypto.
Yeah.
Our experience with crypto. We fell in love with with this mining situation. And we bought our first GPUs, AMDs, 5600. We built our first rig. What was investing around $10,000 when buying the motherboard, the CPU, the GPU. But somehow in the process, a lot of changes are happening right now, especially with Ethereum, because when we first started mining, we started with Ethereum. You want to give your 2 cents on this?
Well, the game is so fluid in this crypto. Crypto is just like anything else. There's always a craze. There's always one right around the corner. There's a lot of game being played. But right now, crypto is the conversation, is leading the conversation. When we kind of got captivated by the mining because, there's this concept that, you let the computers run, you make money 24/7 while you sleep. Everybody loves that. So that's kind of what we got attracted to for that purpose. But what they don't tell you is you have the capital cost of your mining equipment. You have your electricity.
Correct.
And then on top of that, the market is fluid. It's not stationary. So the more miners, the less return from mining. So over time, the opportunity begins to diminish. And this is like anything else. The more people hear about a hustle, the less effective the hustle becomes. So,
Yeah.
we kind of learned that,
And I think the perfect spot to get into this mining industry business, crypto mining, 5, 6, 7 years ago, when you have all these cryptocurrencies below what 8,000 Bitcoin, 8,000, and you start mining that or Ethereum at 400 or 350 if I'm not mistaken, and imagine picture yourself when you actually go back 5, 6 years ago, and let's say we buy the same. Because not only that, the cost of equipment, like those GPUs, from being $300 to $400 to be now what we on average we pay $950, sometimes $1,200 for those GPUs on eBay.
Right.
The cost has been like crazy, 3, 4x on that.
And you're 6 weeks out of China now, so you
And
forget
fix
getting
now
Alibaba.
the one thing that got my attention that you kind of like put me that scene in my mind was I was very skeptical about this mining situation because for one side you buying a lot of your capex, it's kind of big, right? You keep buying, the more you want to mine, the more processing you're gonna buy, the more equipment, and so on and so forth. But then something interesting happened when you talk about when you're mining crypto, you get in the par, meaning that it's not about what the market price is dictating, is the accumulation or the inventory that you're accumulating throughout those years, right, on crypto. No matter what the market price is, all related, and that's what got me my attention. You want to delve a little bit on that? Remember we're talking about someone, but what if you need to keep buying more equipment? That's part of the show. But the game of it is you every single day you're acquiring inventory, you're acquiring
Right.
crypto, no matter what.
Right. Well, that's because it's an early market. When markets are early, there's the opportunity for that. Right now, for example, when you work, you get paid in dollars.
Yeah.
Dollars are not going to double in value.
Yeah.
That's already occurred
Yeah.
over hundreds of years that they've been out. So with crypto, it's still increasing in value. It's doubling, it's tripling, and it's scheduled to 10x, who knows, 100x. So when you have an environment like that, then the game is all about acquiring the coins. It doesn't really matter how you acquire them as long
Market
as you
price.
get your hands on as many coins as you can, because you're looking forward to the exponential value increase in the future. So
Right.
the whole game is about that. But however, now it's getting harder and harder to get your hands on coins. I wish I was in the game, like you said, when this dude bought this pizza for, I don't know, $3.5 million worth of Bitcoin. That's insane.
That would be crazy. Yes.
Yeah, and you could mine it with a laptop, 30 coins a day.
And let's talk about something kind of deep on this. The word utility and the word adaptability in the crypto game, and the crypto industry. Because one thing is very clear. One buddy of mine last 2 weeks, he hates the crypto industry or the whole idea about crypto, but at this point it's too big to fail.
Yeah.
And there's so much billions of dollars in the industry that you can have regulation on the government side, but at the end of the day, there's so much money flowing into that industry right now that is too big to fail. But at this point, moving forward, there's two things that we need to keep in mind: utility and adaptability. I like the concept when you mentioned last time about utility and adaptability. Can you delve a little bit on that?
Well, at the end of the day, that's what gives a currency or a technology its value. The more adopted it is, the more it becomes a utility, the more it's utilized, the more valuable it becomes, and the more solid its future becomes. So crypto is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So that checks the box of adaptability and usefulness. So the utility is there. People are using it. It actually serves a purpose. So now all you need, the only box that's left to check is adoption. The more it's adopted, the more that it starts to take out the current currencies. Because if you think about it, the dollar bill, fiat money, right, which is paper and all that bullshit and electronics money, that's all old hat. And before that, we were trading, metals, silver coins and all that. And that became old hat. Paper was more efficient. Electronic is more efficient. Credit card, all that kind of debt. So crypto right now is more efficient than all those predecessors. So it's just a matter of time, and it's going to happen. So just position yourself accordingly.
It's gonna grow big and big and big.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed on the mining industry, for the crypto mining, it's this whole switch about proof of work to proof of stake to now proof of space.
Now
For
proof
some
of
of
space. Now that
so
sounds like a street hustle. Hey, you know what? Let's do proof of work. Let's
so
build billions of
let's just
dollars
for
worth
explain
of.
what's proof of work, because some of the people they don't really understand what's proof of work.
That's the traditional mining.
The traditional mining is you buy your rig. Buying your rig meaning you buy your GPUs, you buy your motherboard, CPUs, you plug that,
Power
you
supplies, all that
power
stuff.
supply and all that, you build that,
And scale it.
and then you plug it to a pool where that's when you're going to be mining the transaction of the you becoming kind of like validator, where you're going to be validating transactions from A to B, and you can actually mine different things: Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, whatever you name it. Right now, what's very popular it's Ethereum because of the kind of like the blockchain, the technology behind
It's
that,
2.0.
the 2.0.
Dumb
But-
block versus smart block.
But that also sounds like bullshit to me in a way that right now, if you notice, there's been some kind of like campaign about, renewable energy. Elon Musk saying about, I don't want to be involved with miners because of, because they, not that I don't want to be involved in miners, but the idea about mining or Bitcoin, spending too much power and so on and so forth. So
But
kind of like,
a lot of Elon Musk stuff, that's just noise. There's always going to be people talking,
Right.
and they always try to say, well, this guy's moving the market. Elon Musk ain't moving shit.
right.
The market's doing what it's going to do. It's just like a river. It's a current. Currents flow. And then what you can have is you can have some soothsayer that sits on the riverbank says, well, it's moving because I'm saying it's moving. No, dumbass, it's moving because it's moving. So Elon Musk and all these regulators that are just talking shit, saying things, but they're getting the credit as if they're moving the markets. They're not moving the markets. They're just basically stating what's already happening.
Hence, that's where it comes
It's like
to.
the weather, right? You watch the weather on TV. They don't predict the damn weather. They just tell you what they're reporting on what's happening.
Right, right. And that's kind of interesting on that because of this situation, there's this new upgrade that they've been working for a while, this Ethereum 2.0.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so many gaps in the process, but what I have noticed on this Ethereum 2.0, which it's the new proof of stake, obviously the end of game is to create some kind of like less volatile cryptocurrency, less frictional on the way that you have now you're staking.
But I think some of that's BS because it just sounds like one hustle is taking out the previous hustle. In other words, look, there was an opportunity when you started with mining, proof of work.
Yeah.
Proof of work's been out years.
Yeah.
So the guys that got in there, that made all the easy money, now that there's no more easy money,
Yeah.
let's create another hustle. Let's
Yeah.
call it something else. It's the same game. Let's call it proof of stake.
Yeah.
Let's just rename it. Okay. Basically, it requires computer processing. You're not getting away with anything.
Yeah.
And let's run that hustle out. And now there's a new one out called, what is it? Proof of space.
They call it kind of proof. I think it hasn't been pioneered proof of space, but one thing is clear: when you go proof of stake, right? You kind of like, in a way, you have to put money on the table. 32 Ethereums, I guess that's the way it
You
has
got to
to be.
stake it. That means you can't. It's not liquid. You put it up.
So, and then I got some cool facts on that that I was getting on the email because I receive emails about this situation once in a while. On this Ethereum shit going on, you have 13.6 billion already compromised as proof of stake, right? So, which means there's around 153,000 validators already putting money in the table, right? But then something that I noticed, those who are like, for instance, us who are mining, right? It's game over. Even though you can tell, you know what, move your rig into another cryptocurrency. Yeah, that sounds cool, right? Move it into another crypto. But at the end of the day, 40% of the entire industry of crypto is moved by Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken. Today. So eventually, and I might be wrong on this, but eventually most of those cryptos will have to adjust to that type of new form of doing business with, because what they're trying to do, these guys ahead of the game, is to create less volatility, compromise validators now to put money in the table. Not only that, once you put your Ethereum as part of your proof of stake, obviously going to pay you around 6%. Some of them are going to pay you more than that, 6% a month, 6% a week. You don't know.
In the beginning,
In the
that's the
beginning.
attraction rate.
Right now, the one that's making a lot
once
of
the adoption's there, they're going to squeeze it down.
The biggest exchange right now is Kraken.
Of course.
The one who's holding that.
They're
Then it's
incentivizing
Binance.
it.
Yeah. So, yes, just like you're saying, it's a lot of BS because at one point you cannot get your money out of that pool, in a way. It has to be there. It's your compromise, your ticket to play, right? But for those who has less than 32 Ethereums, think about it. What are you going to do? Yeah, some of them are going to probably move to another crypto and mine with the rigs and so on and so forth. But the problem comes back again with scalability. Now, we have this meeting with our buddy, which, hi, Steven. We would like to actually invite them over, I guess, next week.
Smart dudes. Yeah.
Very smart dude. Very, very into crypto. That he was recommending about, moving your operation into what it is.
Proof of space, which is
Chia, crypto. That's a different ballgame because now instead of you buying a lot of GPU, you got to buy now a lot of hard drives. Because now the game is about storing the transactions as a warehouse hub, in a way.
Decentralized
storage, which in a way it's fascinating.
But then the game is you're wearing out. You rewriting on your hard drives. You're wearing them out every 4 months.
Every 4 months. Now the only kind of like hook on this is like your payback could be shorter than just mining Ethereum or mining Bitcoin in a way. So, but at the end of the day, it's all about a lot of capex, a lot of rotation of equipment. You don't know what's going to happen. I think the industry is changing. Some of them, they're not really understanding. And there's a reason why also you see these big dips or this big drop on Bitcoin or the majority of all those cryptocurrencies from 40%, some of them going 60%. It's not like Elon Musk says, you know what, I don't want to have Bitcoin in my balance sheet anymore for transactions. That's just like you're saying is right. But
there's different things, okay? If you're some people are in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency for the utility. They actually use it.
Yeah.
They do, they transfer money. They send money all over the world. They use it, and then some parties are in it to make money off of it. So if you don't have a lot of it, obviously the people that got in early got a lot of it. So they can stake it and enjoy their 6%, 8%, and they're fine.
Right.
But then you also have people that are mining it. They're making money from mining it. Mm-hmm. Then you have people that are making money from trading it, So there are different things that you're doing, but you have to understand the rules of each game that they're all a little bit different and not all play the same. Yeah. So when you're trading it, the price follows the same rules as trading any other type of asset. It's when you look at technical analysis and all that, it's really just applied market psychology. It's the mindset of fear and greed and fear of missing out of millions of people in a snapshot in time that you can see.
Right.
So it's pulled back 50, 60, I think it's like 70%. It bounced at about 70. But that's a natural occurrence because it went on a long bull run. So it needs to retrace. It has to pull back because of that's just a natural occurrence in trading. So nothing is going on as Elon Musk created, or these are just natural occurrences or rules that are involved in trading it.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Also, adaptability right nowadays, something also serious happening with the trading industry. And what I mean by this is like nowadays, how many wallets out there are created? How many accounts in Robinhood are created? How many retail trading has, in terms of volume, has been created within the last 3 or 4 years? In a way, the whole game, and in our case, we're building our own trading division for our company, but without getting too kind of like out of space with this topic, the fact that you can now buy with your phone a crypto, right, directly to mainstream. You feel like buying Ethereum right now? You feel like buying Ethereum right now? You can buy it 24/7. You can buy Bitcoin 24/7. You can buy XRP 24/7 or any other bullshit cryptocurrency out there 24/7. And the only thing that's needed is your phone. So think about how that shit is actually changing the entire industry.
You know what happens when you flood a market with lots of cheap endorphins, with no regulation, 24-hour access? Sounds a lot like crack, you know. And that's what's happened. You got millions and millions of people now that have access to a game that they don't know how to play, and it's a push button away.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost much, and it's fast results.
Yeah.
That's like crack on crack.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So they're bringing on all this dumb money, and there's millions of consumers that real players are taking advantage of.
And it's kind of crazy because now that's the kind of adaptability. Sorry. Oh, we're gonna have to edit that.
Got our guest.
Juanito.
No, let's have him come on in here.
Who's that?
That's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Who's at the door?
Let's talk about a little bit those Robinhood traders.
Yeah,
Not that I have anything against them. I mean, I one thing is super clear, and I might go a little bit macro on this, but this has been an issue since the fact that the central banks, like our central bank here in the United States, has pushed a lot of money, a lot of liquidity, a lot of money in the markets. That's a result of it. Look at, and I'm probably going to be out of space again with GMC, AMC, GameStop. And then on top of that, add the crypto. That's a betting. That's the new casino in a way.
On steroids.
On steroids.
Because the casino now is right here. There's a casino. Any time of day, you can just push the button and get an injection, get a high.
And don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of people making a lot of kids making a lot of money with crypto because they've been trading. Some of them got lucky by buying Bitcoin in the early stages.
Some of them got in early, yeah.
You know, imagine, think about it. This is freaking crazy. Buying Bitcoin, you know, a couple of years ago when it was like what, less than $1.
That was the easy money.
And for those who super fanatics on this digital money,
all the geeks
put $100 or put $1,000.
Yeah.
At this point, which is what, $36,000 right now.
About 36, yeah.
$36,000. You put in $1,000. Those who are like super rebels and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna put $1,000. They'll be having millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
If they did it a long time ago.
If they did a long time ago.
Yeah.
But the question is, my question now is, when they cash some of that unrealized gains, where's the money flowing now? It has to move some of that asset. Where is it being spent? You know what I'm saying? That's also kind of like interesting to really go deep about it. Because either that money keeps going in the system again with buying more crypto. Like, it's a self-fulfilling, I don't want to say prophecy, but it's something else. It's another type of.
Well, it comes, now you're getting into some deep doo-doo now, but that could turn us, we could be taking a left when we should have made it right, you know. But
I'll let you
we'll put a little bit on that.
All right.
So if you're talking about the principle of money, then money is just a medium of exchange. It balances out the imperfections of exchange, right? Yeah. So if you give me your watch, I give me my watch, mine might not be cost as much as yours. So we got to have something to balance out the difference, right? Mm-hmm. So money is a medium of exchange. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really matter what money is. If it's $1, it's a feather, it's a Bitcoin, it's whatever someone is willing to take, right? Mm-hmm. So that being the case, then money is just a transfer of wealth, right? So then you have to, so if you understand that, then you got to ask yourself, well, what is wealth? So I got 1,000 Bitcoins. I can't eat it. It doesn't keep me warm at night. So what is actual wealth? Wealth for humans, that's what we are. We're warm-blooded creatures, right? Mm-hmm. So wealth is really just security and resources of things that we need to survive on, right? Yeah. And money allows us to accumulate massive amounts of that, right? So
right, makes sense.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you have. It's what you have is what you have someone willing to exchange for value. Mm-hmm. Like right now, you got millions and hundreds of millions of people out there working every day for $1 that is not worth shit. You know, it's a piece of paper if you're lucky. Most of the money is electronic now.
That's where you're getting.
And they're enslaved by that because they go out and work for this unit of value.
Right.
But it's nothing really there.
Right.
And the only thing that makes that unit of value powerful is people are willing to accept it. the production that it controls, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And I think,
we'll get off that rant right now.
No, but you know what? I have some
Yeah.
2 cents on that.
Uh-huh.
I think the best friend of cryptocurrency is always going to be inflation, and the super duper best friend is always going to be hyperinflation. Because
it in and of itself, it's hyperinflated already because they're making it up. They're just making them up.
Here's my point in this: the propaganda of the dollar decreasing in value, your dollar's worth less a year ahead or in the next 2 years.
It's going to continue to be.
Right? That's kind of like the prophecy of saying, die the dollar, move to digital money. Could be Bitcoin, could be any other bullshit digital money base.
The ultimate end game is, what will people take? What will people exchange their blood for? What will they take? If someone will take Bitcoin, I'll give you Bitcoin. If you take shitcoin, I'll give you shitcoin.
Right.
If you take dollars, I'll give you dollars.
Right.
It's what can I enslave you with? What will you take? What will you exchange your life, soul, energy, and resources for?
Right. Right. And I think time is going to tell based on the ease of use of trading that or transfer or.
I just think it's the new form of money. Think about it. We just talked about money, right?
Right.
Money has had a lot of versions over since man's been on this earth, right? Man's been on the earth. Who really knows? People say Adam, Eve, who knows? But man's been on earth for a long time.
Right.
And from day one, it didn't take him long to start trading something, right? So money is taking on a lot of different forms. And right now, the new form of money is cryptocurrency. That's just its new form. It's still money. Money ain't going away.
But I don't think in a way, like, it's really hard to think about, you know what, people are going to use less dollars, more crypto. Something in the middle might happen where the point that dollar, in a way, the dollar is already digitalized. You think about it, right? When you're going to transfer money, right? When the central bank prints out money, when banks transfer one to another.
It's been electronic, yeah.
They don't give you cash, right?
Right.
Cash is over in a way. Our whole system.
It's less than 3%.
Our whole financial system is less than 3%, and the whole 97 is all about credit. But at the same time, it's crazy because what's credit? You know what I'm saying?
It's
electronic.
The difference between electronic money and cryptocurrency is the electronic money, the dollars, the dollar-based system. It's not decentralized; it's centralized. It's controlled by the central bank.
Right. So at one point, you're gonna have to make a decision where
the new electronic money is decentralized.
Right. Because at one point, yes, the centralized money, it's going to catch up with what it is, the centralized technology. That's a no-brainer. They have to do it. The only thing is right now...
And there's always a struggle between regulation and deregulation.
And
They're
that
like
makes
push
sense.
And pull.
Because since right now if you actually think about it, you actually look at the whole circulation of money in, let's say, the United States, obviously your number one circulation, it's your own currency, which is the dollar. But also on the other side, there's a new anarchy, a new revelation, a new form of innovation about money, which is cryptocurrency, decentralized and so on and so forth.
Because we live in a connected global world, right?
Because we live in a very connected
borderless world, right?
So
you need something better than a dollar.
At one point, the dollar has to innovate, transcend to a dollar cash to, I guess, to a digital money. Actually, central banks been saying about when they're going to try to deposit money to mainstream or to us, it's going to throw a wallet, which is the same thing as having a crypto. When you have a crypto wallet, I'm going to transfer to my buddy, right? I'll transfer to my wallet, to his wallet. And the government, in a way, the IRS, at the same time, has been delving about with this idea of creating personal wallets. And whenever they're going to want to push the economy, they transfer directly the money from their wallet to your wallet. And then at a certain point, the destruction of cash, that 3% that you're saying, which is very interesting, right? That 3%, that is the destruction of cash in circulation, going to have to be digital in a way, right? Okay, you have dollar that it's digital. Let's think about that. Digital coin, dollar coins, right? Now, it's going to be very interesting when dollar coin compete with the top cryptos or the top digital money out there, which is your Bitcoins or your Ethereum. And then don't go too far. You're going to have dollar coins, euro coins, yen coins, yuan coins.
Thousands of them.
A lot of those like centralized coins, right? to compete in that type of game is going to be actually very, very interesting. And I look forward to that.
Well, what's funny is if you're a student of history, and I'm not no student of history, but I'm familiar with history,
Yeah.
it tends to repeat itself.
Yeah.
If you look back, even when we had paper currency in the world, every little district, every little state, every little township had its own currency.
Right.
Then they turned into state currency, and then they centralized the currency. What happens is you start with a period of fragmentation, then fragmentation goes into consolidation and centralization.
Okay.
Then after that, then it goes back to fragmentation again.
Right.
It's a cycle. It's like an isolation, right?
Right.
So right now we're fighting centralization, trying to go back into fragmentation again.
Right.
And then there'll be a period where fragmentation will rule, and then it'll consolidate into centralization again. So we just go through these phases. So right now, centralization is old hat. It's been around a long time. Its run is temporarily over, and it's going to lose its power to decentralization and fragmentation.
Right.
And then that's going to rule the land for X amount of period of time until such time. What happens when you have a fragmented economy or situation, certain leaders begin to emerge out of all the fragments, and then they become the new centralizations, and then it just keeps going and going and going. But anyway, that's some shit for another
No,
damn
but
day.
that's
yeah,
the whole
you
thing
get the
about,
point, though.
when you talk about crypto, you got to talk about the definition of money.
Because it's not only decentralizing, it's also fragmenting.
Yeah, because you got to go think about store of wealth,
Thousands of
transaction,
different coins.
and different things. That's going to be kind of crazy.
Now you got NFTs. Everybody's making stuff up on the fly. Corporations are putting out their own crypto coins now, tokens, non-fungible tokens, and now they're making anything can be digitized. It's going just crazy right now.
It's the whole digitalization of money and the whole process behind that. That's the reason why in the beginning when we're trying to do the mining, we decided to go do Ethereum as a coin because of this technology that it's super crazy, where there's smart contracts, and then those the whole DeFi, what they call it, decentralized finance, which you've been talking about, right? Where you can do a smart contract for real estate, smart contract as an insurance, digital art, which is the NFT. I have seen Gary B.
Same people even putting their body parts. You got pictures and rights of certain pieces of my body, and that's an NFT now. I can show you my tits or my butt is an NFT, and now I have it. I actually have the physical copy, but you have a digital copy of my private parts now, and we're partners in it. It's just weird right now.
Right. One thing is that I'll like to really accomplish in this episode, because I feel sometimes that we can go very technical, we can go very deep, and also I also like to do things that are basic to the audience, right? Just as a basic form of understanding crypto, right? Crypto is all about the evolution of money. Crypto is all about building the network. Hence, what are you going to do with the mining? Are you going to do with building those rigs, GPUs, and so on and so forth, to now proof of stake, where you had to put money in the table, right? To now proof of space for some of those type of technology, where now it's a virtual warehouse, so you can do processing, all that. And then on the other side, to the trading part too, where you can do a broker, like you can download right now Robinhood as your broker, or Binance or Kraken or Coinbase for some of those who are more familiar with Coinbase. Download it and buy any kind of crypto out there. Now, one recommendation, I guess you will agree, is not to be that stupid and put all your savings on it, because it's a work in progress still. We're what if you actually look at it as a phases, what phase do you think we're at the moment right now?
So in closing, to answer your statement, to add to it, it's going to be.
Let's wait that fucker to you.
Hey, this is life. It's real. It's in you. Hey, there's no edits here. We don't edit shit. Run
Cheers
it
to the cop.
Editing costs money. We don't be editing on film. We run it. If something falls, it falls.
No tickly, no clicky.
No ticky, no clicky. So let's roll. So anyway,
no ticky, no clicky.
There's always crypto's still early. It's early. However, it's going to be a lot of gains, a lot of winners, and a lot of losers. It's
Right.
going to, because that's it's what it takes to
Right.
something to be adopted. It's going to be some pain and gain. You know, it's got to pay its dues.
Right.
And a lot of people are going to get fleeced. A lot of people are going to get in the timing. They're going to get whipsawed. They got in at the wrong time, got out at the wrong time, and that's just how it goes. You know, life ain't easy always. Now, one thing I wanted to add to this money talk is, the only thing, if you're just a money farmer, you're just trying to make money on top of money and squeeze returns on money, you're always going to be chasing your tail, chasing your ass.
Right.
Because you're chasing something that in itself has no inherent value. Money by itself doesn't have value. We just said that, right? So if you're a smart guy and you want to have longevity in the game, you need to have some type of value proposition. You need to actually have utility. You need to provide a good or a service that people can benefit from, and use your money to build that, and then let that bring you some money, and then you can stick around for a while.
So, quick recommendation for the audience or public that hasn't. Quick recommendation for somebody who's thinking about buying cryptos, or they're really skeptical about it, or they don't actually believe in the crypto. That type of not believing in the crypto, they don't want to put money on the table. What would you recommend to them?
Put a little bit in there, and if you don't want to put a little bit, then wait till the game is on your ass and you're going to be behind the 8 ball, and you're going to have to
I
pay
think
the price then. You're going to pay now or later, so we might as well put a little bit in there.
And I think that's very powerful to say, because just to give you a little quick anecdote, part of when we were doing mining, one interesting thing that I mentioned on the last episode, we validated 138 transactions when we did our mining operation. And when we're doing this validation, right, we're looking at the wallets that we validate the transactions, right? And by auditing and analyzing those 188 wallets, I saw one that got my attention. One from this guy called Bangman, that we actually kind of analyzing his move. He's very big right now. And when I was looking at his transactions, right, because this whole blockchain allow you to see the holdings of a wallet, how much money they have, how much money they're moving, and so on and so forth, right? And when I was looking at his wallet through this exchange called FTX, it blew my mind. I actually kind of show you that when looking at his holdings, I think we validate a transaction for him to another wallet for $3,000 worth of Ethereum. It was a very small one, but we catch that one on that pool of transactions that we were trying to validating, right? And when analyzing that transaction and looking at the holdings, my God, I was surprised to see $160 billion on this crypto, no, $160 million on this crypto, $27 million on this crypto, 37 millions on this crypto, and then you keep looking and like one $160,000 on this one. I think another was 97 million on this one. We actually sum up and add up all the holdings value base, it was around $1.7 billion. And when I researched this guy, his net worth was $8.3 billion. My whole point on this is people are skeptical to put $1,000. People are skeptical to put $500. People are super skeptical to put $100 because they don't really believe in this. But when you turn around and look at this guy's holding, where if everything gets banished and this shit gets it's game over, somebody's gonna lose billions of dollars. So what else to do? What else is else to lose? That's kind of my point on this. And I think that's how I would like to just close this. I don't know if you have any other type of...
No, it's food for thought. I mean, one man's thousand is another man's billion, It's the same rules, same psychology. If you're swinging on your ass on the streets, $10 is a lot of money. If you're sitting French Riviera, $1 billion might not be much.
Yeah.
So
I would like to have somebody else our next episode, have some experts on the crypto side, We also
We
like
get them smart guys down here.
smart guys out here.
Chop it up.
Chop it up, and then go over and talk about investments too. We're also building our trading division. It's gonna be very exciting to actually
drop a few
share,
nuggets,
drop some nuggets on that. And we're gonna also go over and talk about our e-commerce operation, our marketing agency too. So we look forward to all those type of conversations. This is just the first episode of a topic that's been very, very hot, which is like crypto.
Yeah, we had to get that one out because it's on everybody's mind right now. So
and I feel we went a little bit technical, but hey, fuck it, we're into this industry.
Yeah,
and
it's high level. We didn't, it's all good.
It's all good. So I guess expect more on this, and look forward for another episode with you guys.
Yep.
Y para toda la audiencia que nos vio, esperando un saludo a la gente de Guadalajara, a la gente de la Ciudad de México, a la gente de Monterrey, a la gente de Laredo, a la gente de San Antonio, a la gente de Frontera en Brownsville, McAllen. La intención de este espacio, de esta plataforma, es que generar una comunidad con ideas modernas, de conversaciones modernas relacionadas a la nueva era de la información. Estaremos platicando, estaremos conversando y estaremos compartiendo lo que nos gusta hacer diariamente. Somos una empresa dedicada al comercio electrónico, donde también tenemos una división de producción, de videos, de marketing digital, de branding de productos, donde también distribuimos nuestros productos en todas las plataformas como Amazon, como Walmart, nuestro propio catálogo en Shopify. Al mismo tiempo, también nuestro interés sobre las inversiones, nuestra división de trading que tenemos. Compartiremos también todo ese tipo de temas relacionados a la criptomoneda, a la minería. Entonces, todo este tipo de nuevos métodos de hacer dinero en la era moderna de la información. Así que te esperamos muy pronto en el siguiente episodio. Y espero que te haya gustado este pedazo de clip o podcast, como le quieras llamar. Nos vemos pronto. Gracias.